Okay, so I'm currently recording this video on New Year's Day. I was in Canada like a few weeks ago, just came back from Canada. I had a great time there. I had a 4-month semester-long study abroad session there and it was great. I made like a bunch of friends. Everybody was courteous, everybody was accommodating, and yeah, it was great. But something did happen while I was there. So in the first month, it must have been like within the first week or 2 weeks that I even had landed in Canada, I was looking for somewhere to make friends, and being terminally and fatally British, I went to a club, had a drink. And I usually hate going to clubs. I've had a lot of my worst life experiences in a club. I still remember the time a friend of mine at the time got like drugged at a bar, like like the pills that they put in your cup. Somebody slipped a pill in her cup and I had to carry her out of the bar and take her home, which doesn't really reflect well on me because the people in the bar, they're just seeing a big black guy just carrying a woman out of the bar. They're not seeing, oh, what a good guy. They're just seeing, oh, this guy is carrying a woman who is barely even conscious out of a bar, but I hate clubs, basically. I'm an introvert in every definition of the word. I just hate going to clubs. I hate going outside. But I was told that people from the university that I was studying abroad, would be there. So I went, I have to, I can't just I'm in a different country, you can't just be in a different country, sedentary in your room the entire time. I gotta be the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. I have to show that off. So I went, I went to the bar, I had a few drinks, loosened up, managed to have a few conversations, with people. I was just, it was fine. I wasn't enjoying it, but it's social interaction. Humans need it to live. So then 3 women came up to me. I was situated kind of near the edge of the bar at the wall. And these 3 women came up to me. They were smiling, so I was like, okay, they're friendly. They just want to talk to me. So what ended up happening was they pressed me up against the wall and shoved their hands into my underwear. I told them to stop several times and they kept on going. I looked around for anyone to see what was going on and nobody did. Or people would just look and then look away. Nobody wanted to help. I was trying to say stuff. I was trying to tell them to stop, but they put their hands over my mouth when I tried to say anything. And the music was really loud, so I'm pretty sure nobody would have heard me anyways. I didn't try to push them off me. In retrospect, I probably should have done that, but I didn't, and that sucks. I should have tried to push them off me, but I didn't want to hurt them and have them go to the police against me or something. I've seen shit like that happen all the time. And they were whispering stuff in my ears the entire time. It was stuff about BBC the whole time, and I don't really remember the specifics of it because I was literally being molested, so I don't remember every aspect of it. I don't remember how long it took for them to leave, but it was definitely longer than 10 minutes. So after they left, I just ran to the bathroom, sat in the stools, and then I called an Uber straight back to my dorm. I didn't tell anyone. I still haven't told anyone. This is the first time I'm saying that this happened. This is the first time I'm telling anybody that this happened. And this was 4 months ago, right? I'm recording this on New Year's Day. But I wanted to talk about this because, you know, we're in an era of like Nina Lins and people just like straight up getting away with stuff like this. Like, the thing about this experience for me, while it was traumatizing, it was more confusing in the moment because I've never really felt like desire or like I've never felt like wanted. Not by not by members of the opposite sex, not by members of the same sex, not by members of any sex really. I'll preface this by saying I'm not an incel. I'm not a women hater. I've been on Mongolian basket weaving forums in the past, but I'm not an incel. When I wake up in the morning and I see a melanated version of Mason Verger looking back at me, I'm not going to start shaking my fist and saying, women did this to me, this is women's fault, you know. That's not me. And I'm not an incel. I don't see myself as like a great looking guy, you know. But as Christian would say, I'm working on it. So I don't know how to structure this video at all. I put myself a solid like 2 or 3 on a scale out of 10. But I wanted to talk about something in particular, and it's what they were saying while they were whispering in my ears. They were talking about BBC. So there is something online that I'm sure a few of you will know what I'm talking about, and it's called the BNWO, or Black New World Order. And it's a bunch of deeply pornographic people on the internet, very sexual in nature, and they sort of worship the black male form. They use this like incredibly animalistic language, like stud, bull, stallion, to refer to people, like black people. And it's supposed to be like they have the belief that black males are superior to all other males, and that they should, if you're not black, you should basically just like turn female or just kill yourself. And it sounds shocking because it is. And if I seem nonchalant about this, it's because I've seen this shit. I had very unrestricted internet access from a young age, and this is what turns you into me. All right, this is what turns you into me. But that's not the point. If this sounds exaggerated to you, I encourage you to like look it up and verify what I'm saying. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, or maybe I don't know every facet of the BNWO, but I'm telling you that this is real. Editor's note, I just wanted to add something. They also use like photos of people that have nothing to do with the movement whatsoever to like push their agenda, if you even want to call it that. It's not much of an agenda when it's just a bunch of gooners online, but you know, they'll use like photos of celebrities or like streamers, like Pokimane or Valkyrie. You know, I don't really like Pokimane anyways. Nigga, you ain't funny. But you know, that's besides the point, you know. It's still like using a person's image without their consent, and you know, not using their image in a very good way, I'll say that much. But they do use like people's images that have nothing to do with the movement whatsoever. So yeah, I add that to their list of misdemeanors, if you will.
Only lame niggas say that shit. Oh my god.
Yes.
But I don't feel flattered by it because the deification and dehumanization are two sides of the same coin. When you lift us onto a pedestal and you regard us as like gods or something, it's denying us humanity. Think about why people deify others in the first place. Gods are not your peers. Gods aren't your competitors, and they're not owed like material justice. It's not really any different from just calling us slaves or insulting our collective intelligence or denying us opportunities that non-black people, non-people of color, non-persons of color, however you want to use that phrase, have handed to them on a platter. Like if you're black like me, and you've had to struggle for your position in life, you are more than familiar with this concept. You're only revered as long as you remain exceptional, or if you remain inspiring, and if you remain resilient, no matter what life throws at you. That's when you're revered. The moment you show anger, or ordinariness, or vulnerability, or need, that reverence just like it's gone. It disappears like a snap of a finger. While these people say words of adoration or veneration towards you, it doesn't mean anything if they don't see you as on your level. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't even know where I'm going with this video. This video started with me talking about how I got touched. Now I'm talking about black rights and stuff like that. I'm not a W.E.B. Du Bois or Frantz Fanon or Marcus Garvey. I'm not, don't come looking to me for an in-depth analysis of the black race. I just wanted to explain why I feel that these professional gooners are a problem. Like the we're not hurting anybody excuse doesn't apply if you're perpetuating harmful stereotypes, even if you denigrate yourself in order to do so. Even if you're a white guy saying, oh, I'm just a sissy little bitch, man, I'm a bitch to the black man, it's still like you're still perpetuating those stereotypes. And I know that the phrase BBC in particular precedes the BNWO by quite a few years. It still serves like the same purpose that the BNWO fetishizes. And that was the language that was used to refer to me. So that's why I thought to bring it up. And I say all this to say it's exceptional to me because that was my like first ever remotely sexual experience ever, like the only one that I've ever had in my 20 years of life. And if people don't show me romantic interest, but I'm still a victim of sexual assault, what am I supposed to conclude from that? Even though it happened 5 months ago, it still weighs on my mind. I feel like I'm not seen as a person. I feel like I'm seen as a porn category or something like that. And I can't help but conclude that if that's the only interest that's been shown in me. And I know that there are people that have gone through much, much worse than I have. Like, I know I'm not Emiru, who's being stalked here and sexually assaulted there. You know, at least now we have something in common. We've both had some white person shove their hands down our pants. But you know, I know that I don't have it the worst. Like I'm objectively in a position of relative privilege. Even the circumstances that brought me to that club in the first place mean that I was privileged. I was privileged to be in Canada in the first place, experiencing a new culture, meeting new people. And that night was just an unfortunate like blemish on what was otherwise an amazing trip, but it still happened. I know I'm only 20. 20 is young. 20 is young, but I feel like sort of unlovable because of that night. Like on that night, those women didn't see like a person capable of emotion or autonomy or love, giving or receiving love. They didn't care for my opinions when I tried to speak and voice my unease and discomfort with that situation. And I don't know how to phrase this sentence. The people I pass on the street aren't sexually assaulting me whenever they look at me with like pity or disgust, but I feel like they're thinking the same things that those women were, you know? And maybe that's like a schizoid thing to think, or like, I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to share my experience on what happened and sort of talk a little bit, because this is something that I haven't told anybody. I haven't told anybody. Maybe leave like a comment or like add me on Discord if you want to like say something or talk to me. I don't know. I don't know. This is my first video on this channel, and it will probably be the last. Maybe I'll make more. I don't know. Maybe I'll make more. Maybe start uploading stuff about like music or singing, because I like to do that sometimes. But thank you for watching.
Check that out, fucking bitches.
See, Mario's kind of...
Hey, to all the girls in high school that didn't want to FUCK me, did you see that? Thought so.